Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Sorry I haven't posted in a long time. Life gets ahead of you, and but we're back today. We're working on the budget quad. I have done some work to it so far. I figured a lot of things out, and let me walk you through it. Here she sits, back corner of my garage, but as you may tell, we got some new tires. I say new, but these are tires I had from a quad maybe a year ago. I'd got on the deal, and I trucked them out to Newfoundland with me for some reason. Thank God I did, because they fit this old gal. Other things, we couldn't find spark last time. I ended up going through all the systems. I'm sorry I didn't walk you through it. I was taking 10-15 minutes here and there trying to work on it when I got a chance. And we did end up getting spark back. So all it ended up being was that the indicator in here of when the motor tells it to fire ended up being dirty. It was just really dirty. I tested everything at the CDU box. I tested with a multimeter. I checked the resistance for the stator. That was good. I checked the resistance for this. That ended up being good. The kill switch up here actually still does work fine. And the on-off key works fine. Once I got this all cleaned up, I pulled the spark plug out, tested for spark, and it was very strong. We're very happy about that. We also tested the coil. Can't forget about that. The coil's also fine. What we ended up finding out was the carburetor here. So another reason I haven't posted in a long time is because I was waiting for this to come in. This is a brand new carb. I got it off Amazon. I will post a link in the details down below. But I think it was under 40 bucks. I'll have to double check. It works good, but I ended up taking the old carb apart. It didn't even have a needle in it. So that's why she wouldn't run. But now, light on. I shouldn't even need the choke. It's actually a pretty healthy motor. Just give it a... Died a bit there. I'm guessing the clutch might be a bit sticky there, even in neutral, just from its sitting. That's why it wants to roll back a bit. But get her. Oh, not want to stay running for me. There we go. Good girl. Haven't dialed the carb in yet, but it's running good. Today, I'm putting on our new master cylinder here. I'll throw the link to this in the description too. I think it's about 22 bucks on Amazon. Goes and replaces that guy. We're going to bleed the brakes. Hopefully we can get the front brakes working. Because right now she has nothing. And there's no way I can sell or trade this even with no brakes at all. So we're going to have to figure something out. So stay tuned and we'll cut to a time lapse of me working on it. Alright guys, we got this changed out now. Sorry about that last one. I ended up accidentally putting in the old bolt from the old master cylinder, and I noticed it was quite long. So I was looking around the bench, I found the new bolt that actually came with this one, and just for the sake of not having to do this twice, I put that in. Always make sure, by the way, almost on all Japanese bikes, this is going to be a 12 millimeter. They're almost all interchangeable, I should say. But it's by that I mean they're all the same thread pitch hydraulic fittings. Always make sure you have your 2 copper crush washers in here to seal around the banjo bolt. Without that, you're going to have leaks everywhere. It's never really actually going to end up working. Like I said, these are great little units. I've had them on almost, I'd say most of the quads I've had, but they haven't failed me since. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, oh look, you can already see the air coming out. We're going to bleed the system. And in order to bleed the system, we basically, you do it like you would a car. Pump, 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 hold. You come down to your brake drum here, open the bleed screw, let the fluid out, hopefully some air comes out, while simultaneously keeping this depressed. Rinse and repeat until you have brake pressure. I have no idea if this is actually going to work because, I mean, I haven't looked in there. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed and we're going to bleed this system and hopefully we can get some front brakes. And then after that, we'll toss the seat on here. You'll join me. We're going to dial in the air-fuel ratios a bit on the carb, just the air-fuel screw. It's super easy. And then maybe we'll take her for a spin. One thing I do want to point out, I didn't mention in my last video, I took this out and pressure washed the whole thing. Degreased it, pressure washed it, because it was nasty. So today we're also going to be hopefully welding up this hole and this hole. But this is not the stock exhaust. This looks like something off an old, Yamaha, 1980s Yamaha, motorcycle. But this is my chrome exhaust pipe. And I'm not painting it because it's cool. Anyways, let's cut to a time lapse of me bleeding the brakes and hopefully it goes well, or this will just cut to me saying we don't have brakes. Alright, welcome back guys. So, got that sorted. Was really hopeful actually. As soon as I started squeezing it, the thing was building pressure instantly, which never happens. Ever. Usually you have to spend 20 minutes in pools of fluid and whatnot. And it was building pressure, bleeding out, so it's going through the system. There's no problem with the system. Except everything still turns when you squeeze the brake. So I was like, wow, let's check out this. And I don't know if you guys know much about brake drums, but that's missing stuff. Actually, all of it. This is basically your piston. It pushes out both sides. Should be 2 brake shoes on either side. Press out into your brake drum here, the inner side, to slow it down. So when you push, these go out, it pushes the shoes out to press on. Essentially, this is your hub, and slow your wheel down. There'll be some kind of pivoting point down at the bottom for the 2 of them, and probably 2 big springs right about here that pull these back in, right? So brakes don't stay on. Well, it's missing everything except the piston, and the piston's seized. I'm going to pull apart the other side and take a look, but I'm not hopeful there's anything there either, just based on what I've seen here. So let's take a look. Another killer bonus feature about this death trap is instead of having cotter pins, the guy just used nails. So there's that, right? So in order to get these off, if you're working on a proper bike, you pull the cotter pin out here. But we're going to remove my rusty nail. Don't get me wrong, this works. It does. It's just, I shouldn't have expected anything less, really. Oh. For anyone who doesn't know why you put castle nuts and cotter pins on your hubs and your axles, it's so that this nut can't rattle loose. So if you can see, there's tiny little grooves there, and at the end of this spindle, there's a hole. What you end up doing is when you tighten it down, you tighten it to a point where these holes line up with the hole in the spindle, and you put something through to essentially lock this nut. So this nut, no matter what, because of such the heavy vibrations, because believe it or not, this is not a Rolls Royce. It vibrates. That doesn't come loose, and you're cruising along, and yoink, your wheel falls off. There's fun facts with Will. Oh, this one's in there. Oh, this doesn't break. This is gonna be. Or we're just gonna give up on the front brakes here. So let me make this clear. Yeah, if there's nothing here, I'm likely not gonna order brake parts for this. I'm gonna move on to the back brake there, see if I can manipulate that into working again. But it's not cheap to replace these drums. Believe it or not. I've been working on this old gal there. Still haven't figured out what to do. Sorry, sidetracked. I know, I get distracted. Haven't figured out what to do about the rear end. I'm just about to order a rebuild kit for it, but I've been really hoping to find something local before I wait 3 weeks to order that from Chingchong, China, and it get here, and then I have to take that apart. I mean, cool video. It would be a cool video because I've never rebuilt a diff, but it's a big project. I did have it going in just front wheel drive, and I ended up getting the brakes working. I say brakes, but this is the same sort of scenario as the other one. Minus, all the pads were there and everything. They're sitting on the counter right now, but it was just rust. So both these cylinders are completely seized on this side. That one works awesome, but this one's shot. And you can basically budget. I ordered a new shoe kit for it. It's going to be about $60 to replace those. But the reason I pulled this all apart is because when I bought the bike, he said that this wheel bearing was going bad, this hub's bad. The wheel bearing's fine. I've checked it myself. It all checks out okay. The spindle there, it all looks fine. I think what it really came down to, and I'm not sure, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. But I think it just might be the CV shaft. Anyway, these are the brake shoes I was talking about. Look at that. CV shaft is pretty worn on this end. It's almost like it did have a bad bearing in there at some point, and the guy changed the bearing and not the CV shaft, and I don't know if this just wore out, but there's just a ton of slop around here in the hub itself, which is causing the wheel to vibrate a lot. So these are about $100. So it's all getting rather expensive. I mean, this is sometimes what happens when you buy old bikes. Now, if you cared about them slightly less and you only have about $200 into it, then who cares if you're just going to have some fun. But we do need to get one brakes working. I'm trying to make that a nice bike, so I'm going to put some more money into it. But anyways, let's get back to this thing. We got to get that hub nut off. So it's 1 inch. Oh. Alright. I broke it loose. Damn it, tightened it. There we go. Get out of there. Alright. Let's see here. Ooh, she doesn't want to come. Okay, there's your... It's already not hopeful. Yeah, once again, guys. She's just puckered. Damn it. Well, $200. It's starting to seem like a $200 deal. Yeah, and these pistons, again, are seized. Well, let's put that back together and pretend this is all fine. Alright, let's cut to me doing that, and then we'll get the wheels on, mess with the carb, maybe we'll mess with the back brake, and I'll see if I can take it for a spin, because we still don't know if even this driveline works. I could be wasting all my time. Alright guys, wheels are back on, hubs are back on, brakes, we're just going to pretend we don't have front brakes and it never came with it. I'm going to rearrange some stuff. Pull the old gal out into the fresh air, because when this runs, whew, you don't want to be in the garage too long. It gets a little stinky. Alright guys, wheels are back on, hubs are back on, brakes, we're just going to pretend we don't have front brakes and it never came with it. I'm going to rearrange some stuff. Pull the old gal out into the fresh air, because when this runs, whew, you don't want to be in the garage too long. It gets a little stinky. What's up guys, I got her pushed outside now. Set up a few things. I started her up. I'll walk you through that after, but right now we're setting up with my at-home welder here. And we're going to try and repair some of this horrible exhaust. It is obnoxiously loud, and it just, because your foot sits right here, this sort of just hits you like right in the calf. It's pretty bad. And this, anyways, this isn't going to be pretty. I'm just making it not leak, if that makes sense. But I'm going to get to that now, and then I think we'll try to do something about the back brake here. See if we can't get it to work. We're gonna have to take it apart. I feel like I'm gonna have to heat it up and bend it back, and I mean, hopefully we can get that brake working. But I'll join you when this is all done. I'll show you what I did. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So the deal is, I got the bike back together. I ended up getting that exhaust welded up. Not great. It was really hard to weld, actually. Being the fact that it was very rusted out. It's like welding two pop cans together. It was hard not to blow through it. I did the best I could. I'll see if I can show you right now, but we ended up brakes here. Let's look at the rear diff on this. It's a weird rear diff. But there's a handbrake, and then there's your main rear brake here. They normally go down to a bracket, which attaches to this splined output shaft. That shaft currently does nothing. I took it apart, and she does absolutely nothing right now. Sorry if you hear a buzz in the background. That's currently my heater going because it's cold as hell in here. But I ended up getting the body back together. She's pretty rough. New tires are on though. She does good. And I figured out why it kept stalling. So it turns out this button right here, the kill switch. So it has two kill switches. You can use the on-off here. Boom! LED light. Start it up. She's been starting first pull lately, so. Okay, never mind. Second pull. Shut that off before I gas this out in here, but. Anyways, I ended up getting the exhaust welded up. It's not great. It's hard to see in here. I'll see if I can turn my light on. There we go. There's still some holes up in here. So it's not awesome, but it's a bit better than it was. Back together right now. We're going to, it's currently up for sale. I posted it up for $600. I've had quite a few people interested right now. It should be close to a $300 profit for me. And genuinely, it's not a bad bike for $600. It runs, drives, all the tires hold air. It's not bad at all. Don't mind Kevin. He's just hanging out. But if you're wondering how much bike you get for $200, it's not a lot. It's going to need work. Let's add this up right now. I put $43 into the carburetor, $22 into the brake master cylinder, which does nothing. Can of paint for this back half right now. I didn't have enough to do the front half. So there's about $10. So we're up to about, let's say, $70 on top of the $200 for this old gal. And if we can get $600 for her, that'd be wicked. Or maybe trade for something else. We'll see. But I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. What's up, guys? Me and one of the kids here decided we were going to take the little 200 out for a spin, and man, it's been, what a beast, surprisingly. I mean, no brakes, but you can downshift for that stuff. But no problem. It's all wet Newfoundland, mossy, muddy stuff. She's just plowing through it. It's gross. Come on, girl. So, well, we haven't figured out how much money you make off these things. I mean, it's going to be a few $100, because, I don't know. The most fun you can have for $200. But, you can still get out and have fun on a $200 quad. Catch you later, guys. That's probably good. Get out of there. Clark to the rescue!